The problem with affirmations is that they generally don't work unless you do one thing, and engineers are pretty good at that one thing. And this is something I realized when I was reading this book, The Power of Your Subconscious Mind by Dr. Joseph Murphy. And here actually the author talks about why affirmations don't work. And he says, I discovered that when people said, I am prosperous, I am wealthy, they felt within that they were lying to themselves. And that is because your conscious mind acts as a gatekeeper to your subconscious, and whatever you say to yourself has to pass through that gate, and that gate has like a bullshit detector. So when you tell yourself, I am prosperous and I'm wealthy, and you're like really broke, your conscious mind is going to immediately reject that thought, and it's not going to go deep down to your subconscious, which is where your beliefs are stored. Now there is a way for that thought to actually pass through the gate and get ingrained in your belief, and this is where engineering comes in, because engineers are pretty good at using the scientific method. The scientific method is all about making a hypothesis or a claim and then going to find evidence in support of that. In other words, when you make a statement to yourself or an affirmation and then you back it up with some sort of evidence, your mind can be pretty convinced and say, okay, I'll let that thought pass. And one way to do this is to think of a time where you did the thing or something similar to what you're affirming. About 1 year ago, I was in a very stressful situation in my PhD. I had been like 3 years in, I had not published any papers, and I was struggling, and I basically thought there was no way out. And the only way for me to push through it and say, okay, no, I will push through this, I am going to succeed, is when I recalled a time back when I was in undergrad. And again, I was a junior, 3 years into my undergrad, and I had no internships. And then after some time, I had 3 internships, and I was in a very good spot. So I kept telling that to myself. I kept saying, okay, I'm gonna get through this because of that one time where I actually got through that. So I'm the same person, so I'm definitely gonna get through this. And a few months later, I went from 0 published papers to 4 published papers, and I have like 3 more submitted right now. And there were many other times where I'm going through like a really hard time, and I affirmed to myself, no, this will be okay. And I recall a memory where things were hard and they turned out to be okay. And that makes me feel a lot better and actually helps me to take the action necessary to get through the situation. Now I know what you're thinking is, what if, for example, you're trying to affirm that you want to be wealthy or a millionaire, but you've never been a millionaire before? How do you do that? For that, there's a really good affirmation, and that is, what one person can do, another person can do. And I really like that because I've actually used that a lot unconsciously. I didn't even know what affirmations were when I was an undergrad, but I was unconsciously thinking that. And basically I would see like an engineering student get a really nice internship, and in my head I would say, okay, I could do that too. And I would see like someone starting a YouTube channel, and I would say, okay, if that person can do it, I could probably do it. I would see someone publish a book, and I would say, okay, if that person can do it, I could probably do it. And what I was unconsciously doing at the time without realizing it is basically affirming that I'm gonna do it by convincing my conscious mind that, hey, if other people can do it, why can't I? And this is actually why inspiration is so powerful, and why someone like Elon Musk will often quote Benjamin Franklin's biography as a source of inspiration. Because I'm willing to bet when Elon read that book and saw Benjamin Franklin doing all that crazy shit at the same time, he was probably like, that's inspirational. I could probably do that too. And that is only gonna boost your self-esteem, which, by the way, I made a video about how to build that using like a cool engineering method. So let's go ahead and check it out.